What a throwaway year this has been. I can't even get over the fact that the holidays are already here. Seriously? But I'm gonna give back. And I'm gonna give back to you guys big time. I'm gonna show you how to make gingerbread macaroons in 3 different ways. And this very well might be the best 3-way of your life. Need a last-minute idea for your holiday desserts? Well, you've come to the right place. Hi, I'm Kim, and on today's episode of Macaronomics, I'm going to show you how to make gingerbread French macaroons 3 ways. So don't worry if you're beginner, advanced, or pro, there'll be something in here for all of you. But before we start, please subscribe to my channel, ring that bell for notifications, and like this video for even more baking videos. And use the comment section below to suggest any future videos that you guys want to see. Take advantage of it. We're going to get right into this one because we got a lot to do. Thankfully, this recipe is not as complicated as I make it sound. The story of my life, though, it seems to apply to a lot of things in my life, making things complicated, according to my ex-boyfriends. But that's a story for another day. The ease to this recipe is that we're making 1 batter. So whether or not you want to make it simple, add some details to it, or make the gingerbread macarons look like actual gingerbread cookies, we're making 1 batter that will apply to all of those ways that you can decorate them. So we're going to start as usual, and we're going to start with our meringue. In the bowl of a stand mixer or a bowl of a hand mixer, doesn't matter, both will work. You're going to separate your egg whites from your yolks. And you want to save your egg yolks because those are great for making ice cream, cream puffs, creme brulee, anything that you can make with yolks. Don't throw those away, those are like gold. Here we go. Whoa. And then you're going to add your cream of tartar. And you can throw your salt in there too while you're at it, who gives a shit. Let it mix up on high. And then when it becomes like foamy, like frothy, we're going to decrease our speed to low and slowly add the granulated sugar. You know how this goes. Once that looks a little combined, you can increase your speed back up to high and let your meringue mixture mix until it's thick, there's peaks formed. It's almost like there's a resistance to stirring it. It looks overmixed, but that's okay because the cream of tartar is going to prevent any overmixing. It's like a gem. While that meringue is mixing up, we're going to sift our almond flour and our confectioner's sugar only once. Whoa. You can start to sift it. If you have a good almond flour, you don't really have to worry about it sifting too many times. I will link a video to the products that I use and swear by. And what also works really well is the spatula. You can force these little particles through the sifter at a faster rate. Once your meringue is complete, you can add it all at once to your dry ingredients, but gently fold in the meringue to your almond flour and your confectioner's sugar. This can be time consuming, but it's better to go slower and not overmix it. You want it to be a lava-like consistency, but still thick, and we're not gonna mix it all the way here because we're going to be coloring our batter. So there, look, it's like a nice thick consistency. It goes back into itself flowing like honey, but it doesn't look flat. It has some volume to it. It's important when you're coloring your French macaroons that you use an oil-based product. You don't want to use any liquid, no liquid colorings, no liquid flavorings in your macaroon because it will deflate the meringue and you will have a flat French macaroon with no feet that will look very oily and very watery. We're going to be making a 2-to-1 ratio of brown and yellow gel food coloring. Add it to your batter. If you're just doing the simple gingerbread French macaroon, you can just color the whole batter now. You don't have to divide and color. So for the simple gingerbread French macaroons, you can color the entire batter. If you're going to do the advanced one with a little bit more detail or the full out gingerbread cookie looking French macaroons, then I would color 3/4 of your batter with the brown and the yellow and divide the rest of it evenly to either make your eyes, your eyebrows, and your mouth for the advanced French macaroon or for all the details to the gingerbread cookie French macarons. A great trick that I taught myself how to do when transferring your batter into a piping bag without making a huge mess is you'll cut the tip of your piping bag And again, if we're doing the simple gingerbread French macaroons, you're just gonna need a large round tip. And you can take a glass, a container, whatever kind of cup that you have, twist the end, fold it over, and then we're going to transfer it right into the bag. With no spill, no mess. You're welcome. Now we're going to pipe the gingerbread French macaroons. You can do the simple ones and the advanced face ones on a sheet pan lined with a non-stick silicone macaroon mat, and this one has pre-traced circles, so it's perfect. So for the simple ones, we're just going to pipe a simple circle, and those are just gonna rest for an hour. You wanna make sure that they have a hard mat-like crust on them. That's going to mean that they're set before they're ready to bake. And then you're gonna put them into an oven at a true 300 degrees Fahrenheit for about 15 minutes. As for the gingerbread macaroons with the faces, we're going to let them rest after we pipe the circle for about 15 to 20 minutes until there's a bit of a skin. And then we're gonna pipe our second layer. We're gonna pipe the eyes, the eyebrows, and the fun little mouth. And then your resting period for this recipe doesn't begin until the last layer is piped. So now we're gonna rest these for an hour or until a mat-like crust forms. And then we're gonna bake them at a true 300 degrees Fahrenheit for 15 minutes. Don't get upset if you don't get the most challenging ones right away. I wanted to provide you guys with 3 choices so you can work your way up to it. You know, it's not gonna happen overnight, it takes practice. For the gingerbread cookies, I'm going to include a link below where you can download the template, and you're gonna cut it out and put it on a sheet pan and cover it with either parchment paper or a non-stick silicone baking mat, preferably one that doesn't have pre-traced circles so you can see through to the template. So basically we're gonna pipe our first layer, which is the figure, and we're gonna let that set for about 15 to 20 minutes until a skin develops. And then we're gonna start piping our details on top, whether you wanna do buttons, a bow, eyes and mouth, of course, cuffs, dresses. And if you wanna do more layers on that, you're going to have to wait for the second layer to form a skin before you pipe any additional layers. Once the last layer is complete, you're going to allow these to rest for about an hour or until a mat-like skin develops. And then you'll place these in the oven at 300 degrees Fahrenheit for 15 minutes. After your gingerbread figures have baked, you can add some sprinkle decorations to them just to give them a little bit more pizzazz. You can use something that's an edible glue adhesive called Dab and Hold by Wilton, and this will dry clear and it will easily stick the sprinkles to the macaron shells. So now these are freshly out of the oven and they smell like gingerbread. We're gonna let them cool completely before we even attempt to remove them from the sheet pan. And while we're doing that, I'm feeling pretty giving today, so I'm gonna show you how to make 2 different fillings. Our first filling is a gingerbread buttercream. So add your butter, room temperature, but not too soft. You still want it to be a little cold. And your confectioner's sugar, and mix that on low until it's combined. Increase your speed and add your molasses. And all of your spices. And if you want, you can add some of that oil-based gingerbread flavoring to the buttercream. And if you really want to get fancy, I mean really fancy, you can add some more of that brown and yellow gel food coloring to your gingerbread buttercream. For our second option of a filling, you can make a cream cheese filling, because what goes better than gingerbread and cream cheese? So add your cream cheese and your butter, both room temperature, to your bowl of a mixer. And let those whip up. Then you're going to add confectioner's sugar, let those combine and really whip some air into that. And then you're gonna add some vanilla extract. Now I don't anticipate this filling to be thick, but if it feels too thick for you, then I would add about 1 tablespoon to 2 tablespoons of milk. Really eyeball it and fill it out. Now we're gonna fill these babies with one of our mixtures. You can fill your gingerbread macaroons with the cream cheese mixture or the gingerbread buttercream. Don't be stingy. You know it is Christmas, it's all about giving. Give them a good amount of filling. And that's my Christmas gift to you. Gingerbread macaroons done in 3 ways. Can you imagine your guests arriving and seeing this incredible creation? This recipe will please any of your guests. And if it doesn't, give them the boot and use social distancing as an excuse. My gift to you. You guys are all rock stars, and I appreciate every single one of you, and thank you for being so supportive, and a happy holidays to you and all of your families. If you guys want to see even more content than what's on my YouTube channel, please be sure to subscribe to my Facebook and my Instagram. If you're going to replicate any of my videos or recipes or photos, please add hashtag creme macarons to your photos so I can see, like, and share them to my stories. And as always, stay safe, stay happy, and keep baking.